Well, I hope this is working, everyone, because we're pretty well half an hour late. So I feel like Kamala Harris or Joe Biden holding a press conference and never being on time. In any case, to begin again, my name is Ralph Jones, and I've served as CEO of BitBrother in New York since March of 2022. Like many of you, or all of you, I'm a shareholder. And on Tuesday after Martin Luther King Day, I was really distressed when I saw the shares fell 18%. Then on Wednesday, I was in shock. They went 80% down from $11.50 to $2.03. And I knew something really nefarious was going on. This is terrible. Because we've had a lot of success in the past year. And currently, we're operating a 6 megawatt Bitcoin mining operation in Texas with 1,400 machines operational. And in the last couple of days, we've gained 3 Bitcoins. And thank God Bitcoins are now up to over $23,000 each. Our preliminary work is also underway for the company's next big move to open another 10 megawatts of power. Now 5 megawatts of that power will come on board in June, and we expect the second 5 to come on board in September for completion of the 10 megawatt expansion. And more is going to follow that. However, as I said before, we recently witnessed that the company's shares were maliciously shorted by some money-stealing institutions, resulting in a huge loss to our company. We hereby have established a special working group to counter-strike these malicious trading practices. At present, we are close to culminating an agreement with ShareIntel, who will conduct due diligence regarding trading practices on behalf of our company. ShareIntel will help to research, filter, track all shareholder movements between parties so as to identify any suspicious discrepancies. To support these efforts, our law firm in New York, Hunter, Kaufman, Fisher, will help us with the appropriate legal counsel. And BTB will constantly put forward efforts into tracking and exposing immoral short sellers and fighting illegal trade transactions. We're committed to protecting our shareholders' legal rights, as well as preserving the integrity of the market. Now let me continue for a moment before I take some questions. What action have we taken so far? Well, as I said, we're engaged with ShareIntel, a market trade research company. ShareIntel will provide us with due diligence for our company, and Mark Hunter from Hunter, Taubman, Fisher will provide us with the legal counsel to take any legal action by anyone who participates or is suspected of participating in any type of market manipulation related to our company's stock. The measures taken by our company have been recorded in our recent press releases. We'll be talking to and hiring more technology companies to provide relevant data to find out who is making illegal short selling, or should we say naked short selling. In fact, the most important thing is to find out who is conducting illegal short selling. It is not that short selling is not allowed, but that many people are making short selling illegally. That is, they do not own the stocks, they just sell a number of stocks without taking possession. Of course, that's fraudulent and prohibited. Mark Hunter, who worked as an official for the SEC and endorsement department, will investigate any matters that arrive. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Mark. Mark is a lawyer with our law firm in New York. He's registered in Washington, D.C., New York, and Florida. At the Florida University, he is a professor of white-collar crime. And he was appointed by NASDAQ to oversee their conformity to SEC security regulations. So Mark is a tremendous asset to our efforts to curtail this illegal trade activity. May I start taking questions, please? Well, I don't know what's happening, folks. We seem to be having a lot of technical difficulties at this end. I can't see the questions. Something's going on. Okay, apparently someone's asking about Bitcoin mining. And as I said earlier in my introduction, I was really happy yesterday to see that Bitcoin almost plateaued at $24,000. Now, as I mentioned in my introduction, we are running a 6 megawatt facility in Texas with 1,400 machines running 24/7. And we are expanding with another 10 megawatts, with 500 more megawatts due to come online in June, with the final 500 to come online in September, which will give us another 10 megawatts. So in all, 16 megawatts by the third quarter for sure. Now, I'm not seeing the questions, and I'm supposed to be shown questions, but they don't seem to be appearing. I apologize. Okay, on my phone they came in. Uh, okay, a question from Courses for You. Where's the CEO? Well, the corporate CEO, Jack Wu, is currently traveling across Asia, I believe. Okay, can you start over? Someone wants me to start over. I don't know if that's necessary at this point. Yes, there are efforts to counteract these efforts. And what we've got to do is abide by the regulation SHO from the SEC. Now, when I get to meet and talk with Mark Hunter, I want to review these regulations with him and why they weren't enforced. For example, in 2010, Regulation SHO from the SEC was amended via changes to Rule 201, which stops short selling on a security when prices have decreased by 10% or more during a single trading day, mandating that new bids must be above the current price. So obviously that regulation SHO was not adequately enforced. Carl Knight, he's watching the shares tank. Yes, well, we're going to fix that. Can you introduce yourself again from On the High? Well, my name is Ralph Jones. I'm a Canadian, and I became the CEO of BitBrother in March of 2022. Now, by way of background, I've worked in 14 countries around the world. I guess the most significant was when I first traveled to China in 1983. I was really fascinated by how things were progressing, and when China entered the WTO in 2001, I relocated my family to China for 12 years to work for a wholly owned Chinese factory that had 4,700 employees, and I worked there as their vice general manager. Okay, someone's saying this is a joke and that the stream is not working. Boy. Andy Chan says the rumors are we're going to do 1 million megawatts. I suspect that's not correct. Not at all. Okay. Yes, Dale Walters, I've complained numerous times about our transition from a tea company into a cryptocurrency outfit. And we're trying to correct that now. So, as I mentioned about Michael Ferranti's question, what are you doing about the shorting? Well, we're going to use Share Intel, Mark Hunter, and several other companies to do a complete, total investigation. What my biggest concern is that in this day and age, the SEC should be using artificial intelligence to follow all trades and practices on the SEC. And that would give them immediate, clear insight as to any, dislogical things that are going on. Oh, from Mind Rewind. Not accused that I don't know anything about Mark, but I just assume Mark isn't dirty. No, Mark is not. He's a very upright individual. He's a very experienced lawyer. He's been appointed by NASDAQ to oversee SEC regulations. And as I mentioned earlier, he's a professor of white collar crimes in Florida as well. So he's got a lot of experience in this type of business. Let me find some other questions. I don't think the corporate offices have decided on a share buyback yet, but it's completely, entirely possible. Oh, the question from SOS Lover. Can you be more open about your relationship with SOS? Jack Wu claimed partnership in your 20F. Yeah, Jack and the owner of SOS have been basically childhood friends. They've grown up with the same interests, and they share ideas and thoughts between themselves. Personally, I'm not aware of any imminent plan for BTB and SOS to work collaboratively. I don't think that's in the cards. Okay. Setlevin Dragon Shonov asks, are there any results from the actual investigation? Do you have any actual evidence of illegal short trading? Well, not at the moment, because this all just began on the 18th. Today's the 26th. So people are working on it. Of course, what interfered with a bit of our investigation was the Martin Luther King holiday on Monday. So we'll be back online again on Monday with Mark Hunter to give you his estimation of what's occurring. Yeah, SOS Lover. As I just said, Jack Wu and the owner of SOS, the CEO, are lifelong pals, and they do talk and collaborate with one another. Oh, Dylan Urgish, are you guys working with HLBZ and GNS? No, not that I'm aware of, certainly. Okay, someone in China has asked, what is the exciting results? Well, as I just mentioned a few moments ago, in the last couple of days, we've acquired 3 Bitcoins. And that's just early after startup. Once we get another 10 megawatts going, it'll be much better. And we're really encouraged by the price that the price of Bitcoin is again rising. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, it almost touched on $24,000 yesterday. Fireworks has asked, what is your opinion of BTB's current share price? Well, it's down 80% to 203 last time I looked. It's a friggin' disaster. And we've got to find out and remedy what has occurred. And we're absolutely confident that this has occurred through, illegitimate shorting of our stock. And that probably coincided with Maxim. On the 18th, they're going to put forward a share offering of 7.1 million shares in BitBrother. And I think somebody took deliberate advantage of that press release. Okay, I'm waiting for more questions if anyone's coming forward. I must apologize. I'm supposed to be getting the questions on my screen in front of me, but I'm having to refer to my telephone to pick them up. So it's a little bit awkward. Okay, so I mentioned that we're going to have another live stream on Monday. We have to check with Mark Hunter for his timing and availability and what he's found subject to his investigations. But I just want to reiterate that Mark Hunter is from Hunter Kaufman Fisher Law Firm in New York. Now, Mark is a licensed lawyer in Washington, D.C., in New York State, and in Florida. And as I mentioned earlier, he's a professor of white-collar crime at a Florida university. And Mark was also appointed by NASDAQ to ensure that their operations conform to all SEC regulations. So I don't think we could find a more knowledgeable person in this field. Okay, and the other thing that I would really like to mention, I sent out a note the other day about, oh gosh, what's the matter with my mind? Highgarden or Hindergarten, and they'd short sold Adani in India on Wednesday. And the owner, Sahan Adani of that company in India, in a single day of short selling, he lost $6 billion. Now, I'd encourage you to look up that story. It's very interesting. Mr. Adani really won't suffer because he's worth a couple $100 million, but still losing $6 billion in a single day is quite traumatizing, I would think, at least in my mind. Now, the good news for us is that we're heavily trading in Bitcoin. All cryptocurrencies around the world right now are worth approximately $1.1 trillion, and Bitcoin commands 445 billion of that $1.1 trillion. So I don't appear to have any other questions coming in. Just let me check. Oh, from Yasin Gebrov. What is the purpose of this live stream? An investigation hasn't started. You have no information regarding corporate decisions, buybacks, dividends. What is your goal of this meeting? Well, Yasin, the goal of this meeting is to tell you that we're dead serious about finding what the heck is going on. Okay? Now, we've formed a special committee of Jack Wu, our corporate CFO, and myself to handle all matters of this investigation. And yes, it's too early to come forward with, evidence or proof of what's occurred. We know that. But we want to assure our shareholders and the institutional investors that we take this dead seriously. And we're going to be working at our earnest over the coming days to find out what has occurred and how to remedy the situation. Now, until we know what has occurred, we can't come up with the remedies yet, okay? Like, there might be prosecutions and restitutions involved. We just don't know yet. But the whole purpose of the call is to give you the confidence that we're taking this dead seriously. Like, I'm a shareholder. I'm hurt. I'm doing this for you, others, as well as myself. I take this very, very seriously. So please, put up with us until Monday. Once we find out Mark Hunter's available conference call time, we'll publish it through various means, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, whatever. Okay? So I'm sorry if I haven't been able to answer all your questions. We're early on in this, but I do want you to have my total commitment that we're going to exhaustively investigate this and come up with the appropriate solutions. So thank you very much for your time. I'm going to say goodbye because I think we're out of time, and I don't see... Jack Wu will be on Twitter. We're going to have tons of exciting news coming in. I've just received the word, okay? So please pay attention to your Twitter platform. And Wu Shanglong, Jack Wu, will be having tons of exciting news coming. So I guess his travels across Asia are bringing forward some new exciting information. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to talking to you again on Monday this coming week. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.